This is about status. Like, oddly enough, that I'd be the one to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, do you see something in the word status that not enough other people have seen? Uh, well, no, because point blank, Bobby Hemmett told me that a government in itself, status is a government within itself. You don't have to go to the extent of saying the IRS is legalized theft. You don't have to go to the extent of saying that bureaucracy can't. Well, uh, well, not let's go that far. Let's just say that as far as people becoming recognizing that we have the power, it's not going to happen. Ideally, and it's not true about strength in numbers either. It's more true about status being a government within itself. That I don't think everybody needs to already be a success to have that assertion. For like, you don't have to have $1 million for me to believe you, right? You would have to have $1 million for me to believe that you are going to start some kind of grassroots movement or something like that. So why do you, since the people have all the power, and you know what I mean? And it's because most people don't want to see the people getting to any power. It's like it's us. If you try to become, recognize your own power, enough of us is going to see that and is going to do everything to try to stop that, and then go out like, oh, we need to be seen. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like patting you on the back and feeling sorry for you. You know what I mean? And complaining that you just want to be seen and heard, and the fucking fact is, I wouldn't need to be seen or heard if the people had the power. If the reason that even there is a fucking deception that could put pressure on somebody to do more and be more and get out there and be seen and be heard is proof and evidence that the people they're afraid of power, of other people having the power. So it's like there's some people that can, and then there's the majority, which is not, because I've seen evidence of that. They make their kids wearing a mask and they do all this shit like fucking if you do see anybody saying that we're trying to take the power, it's like they're making all this noise and it's all about attention, and they just want some usually if you had if it comes down to it, the people who can't support because they has to be at work or they has to go and they can't be there, you know what I mean? And then the ones that are there is like somebody sponsored them to go and fuck off. Because as soon as it's like a little attention or whatever that nothing is gonna happen. Nothing. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing with no little bit of attention from somebody and being seen. You know what I mean? But that seems to be where you stalemate. You as in me and everybody. And then the real power is gonna be in status. And you might self-isolate. Like, you can improve your status. You don't need people, like, even around. You know what I mean? It's just that, how do you do it? Like, how do you get there? Like, if I was living in a off-grid or, something like that, I would feel my status rising in the community and everything. Because you're just doing what you do to help. You contribute to a platform. Position or platform, and everybody's working on the same thing. like, duh, you know what I mean? But where it's like so many people, it's confusing because everything's like afraid of who's getting a platform, and because you're being given views and seen, and you're out there being seen, as if anything is gonna happen by all the fucking fame you could keep it. Nothing's gonna. I just, you know what I mean? It's the people that could keep work have to decide to not support because they're has to be at work all day, and they need advisors, and they need people to teach them things, but there's no time. No time. What the fuck? Not for them. You know what I mean? Like, you only has to live and die to get the perspective. Then it could only take some people 9 months, but that's not consolation, because you would think that like everybody should get to live. You know what I mean? Like, if a stillborn can come to Earth and get the perspective that they need to know that there's nothing here but suffering, and that you can't fix the suffering, and now you have to find a platform position that's going to make things, because why suffer unnecessarily? So you want to help in a sense that since we are going to suffer, there should be no extraordinary suffering. Duh, you know what I mean? But in it's almost in spite of it, then it just becomes a grift. And so, like, we're playing on the heartstrings of the emotions of the people who are suffering, to swing the outcome of something in the short term, and then try to divorce the responsibility from the pile up, of like all the, the waves of people who try to come to the border. You know what I mean? Like, come on, kids died and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't act like you don't have no effect when it's convenient to not have no affect, but then you want all the influence because you want the affluence. You want the affluence. The road to affluence is that you have to be influential. Come on. You really gotta influence other people to get a little bit, just to get enough to where you don't have to worry about, and you can do what you want to do. You don't have to worry about, like, what's your next meal, and you can do what you want to do. Like, for real? Damn. And so it makes sense then the majority of people's mindset is already in the time, in the present, that it needs to look to the stars and look to the sky. You know what I mean? Like, look up, then they can't. You know what I mean? Because it's gravity. You look down. I don't know who I'm lecturing or anything. I just since you can't do anything about the elitist, the corporate hegemony, talking to everybody like some misbehaving children because you have some basic ass questions, like we don't want to do shit anymore. Whatever this American experiment was, like, everybody's ready to say fuck it, we don't do it anymore. It's not really their choice. It's not your choice. You're supposed to just do your job. Be a journalist, or you're supposed to do your job. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you think about it, like, the press is like directing the conversation even when the president's talking. You know what I mean? And she'll be like, okay. Like, bitch, somebody put this bitch in her place. She thinks she's everybody's mommy. You know what I'm talking about. Because I think Trump is trying to explain something about the stock market and the promises of the candidate, right? But no, we gotta listen to who's this fucking side bitch talking about. You know, she want to be your mommy. She's like, okay, like that's like that, like we're like some that's bullying, like that's somebody's getting bullied or something. Okay, like enough. Oh, all right, like it's just a question. It's just a question. You know, and if anybody doesn't want to fucking do the Great American Experiment anymore, fucking, you know what I mean? Like, you're not a journalist either. Like the one that's pretending to be a fucking journalist is the one that's supposed to be a journalist. For the most part, it's not even my time to say, or anybody's time to fucking say. You know what I mean? Like, why do you think that because you can be ignorant or remain ignorant that everything's gonna revolve around you or something? You know, like that's your choice. You know, they say that this law, like, you can repeat something enough and it'll become the truth. And then I guess you just have to try to resist that as much as possible. But then it's going to come to the point where, you know, the precedent is there for limbo and leaving all your shit out on Front Street. Then somebody's going to come around knocking at the door, talking about you don't have the balls to suck cock. You know what I mean? Like, we heard you got virgins up in this mug. You still haven't fucked them yet. You know what I mean? And if you want to call it a medical kind of rape, or if you want to say that they just think that you've been fattened up enough long enough to tie you up and break all the glass and run off with all the jewelry, and because you got left you with a cool little something. You know what I mean? They made sure that they waited for you to fatten up before they robbed you, so you'll have something. Like, that's, what's the difference? What's the difference in that kind of thinking? You know what I mean? Or if, like, we say somebody in your household is been, told to stay inside when it was sunny, you know what I mean? And then we're gonna come around after the vitamin D deficiency or something, or right before it gets sunny, right before the vitamin D gets into your skin. Then they think you're hiding in the corners and the crevices back where the germs, where you're a walking petri dish of the COVID. And you say, was their advice in the first place to tell you to stay inside? It's all, and then it's going to be their advice right before summer when they entitled to a flu season in the summertime. But the whole time was flu season. So why are you entitled to a flu season in the summertime? I know, it's just fear. It's only fear. You just gotta running out of stuff to make everybody think the sky's falling. They're about to hit you up with the proposition to see if you like the fake alien invasion. And some people get to know that it's fake, and that before that happens, they want to make sure that you're gonna play ball with the artificial alien invasion, which is gonna, because of folly and humanity and how how hysterical it is, it's gonna be followed up by a real alien invasion. Probably not the first